Oh, I had 2 of these videos made now. One was lengthy that I didn't like, and the other one was a little bit shorter and my phone cut off. So I'm going to do it again. I'm doing my opening for this week.
Take a drink.
I was very happy. Addie, take a drink, you drink. I was very happy with the way the babies trained this week. We did give the week off from training for some of the horses that were at the end of their castration, healings or splints or curbs or anything like that. So it was a more modest group of trainers in Ohio. Everybody except for Trevino and Green went in Ontario because he was castrated, and I was rather happy with the way everybody has gone. And it's just been everything seems to be knitting together and coming together nicely as we head into the first part of March. This is the time of year we start to see horses get off a little bit, their knees start to hurt them a little bit, but quite frankly we haven't seen much of that. Only a couple in Ohio. Addie, turn that down right now. Only a couple in Adeline Hope. Thank you. Only a couple in Ohio, and not really bad. Not to the point where you had to give them time off and stop with them. Just time where you had to back off of them, stop training them. So it's been a really good year in that regard. Very happy with the way the horses raced this week out of the stable. It wasn't like a groundbreaking week where just everybody won. It wasn't a tidal wave. It was just but it was cool. We got to see Spitfire Overseas set a track record in Miami Valley. Unbeatable Kemp raced great. Very happy. I watched this video a few times. I enjoy watching Kemp race when he's on his game. And to be quite frank, he wasn't on his game this week. He was a little bit uncomfortable. His knees were hurting him a little bit. He was a little frustrated in the post parade. I could tell it. I could see it. I could feel it. That's why I brought him into the gate slow, and that's why I raced him very conservatively. And he still bailed me out down the lane and got up and won. It was a very impressive race. And these are the types of races that impress me, even though you're talking about a condition claimer. But it was a nice race, so it was good to see that. I thought that Hallie raced good. I thought Collector raced good. James and I had a pretty good conversation as I pulled into the farm today for a brief minute. James was coming out, and we talked about Collector and Hallie. He thought Hallie raced good, but still, does she have that eye of the tiger he was hoping to see? Hadn't seen it yet, but the times were good. The math of the miles were good, but he just wanted. It felt to me the way he was talking that he just thought he wanted to see more and thought that she had more to offer. But again, 2 lifetime starts, and even he said that. He said she only had 2 lifetime starts. It's pretty hard to get upset with the way the filly's been racing. I certainly know that I have not been. Just very happy with her. And then he talked about Collector, how he was really impressed with Collector and the way. Hey, put those down. What's this look like? A lazy boy?
What does he get to do?
He doesn't. Ollie, put your feet down. It's not how you sit in a car. He thought the Collector had a ton more upside. He felt that he did. My only concern with Collector, and it's not a concern, but more or less just an observation, the 2 times that he got roughed up are the 2 worst races he went. And I thought that maybe he had bled a little bit. Now, we didn't scope him after his start 2 starts ago, and I think if we race him 3 starts and give him a week off, maybe we'll try and catch him on that rotation where we can scope him and say, okay, if there is some blood there that's seen, then we can put him on Lasix. But we hadn't done that yet. It certainly didn't look like he needed it the other night. All he needed to do was have a little room. And I made throw a little jab at James about that. But pretty hard. It's getting harder to make fun of James, and that's frustrating for me because he's winning everything. But definitely most of the time drives our horses great, and definitely drove Collector good. Just need a little room the other night with him. We talked about a number of things going on this week, a number of storylines in the spring, predominantly talking about horses moving, horses coming in, horses coming out of the field. How are horses shaping up? Our sophomores? I can tell you how the babies are training down, but everybody knows it's March. What's it matter what they look like in March? Really doesn't.
Sorry, what is the state payment for horses? Buckeye? What's it called?
There's a Buckeye, a Fair, and a Sire Stake.
All this month?
Yeah, everything was paid. No, it would have been last month, wouldn't it? Or was it this month coming up? I'm not sure. No, you're right. It is this month.
But it's called just Buckeye, or what is it called?
Buckeyes like the
Where's the
grassroots.
steak list?
Just ask her. Where's the?
No, I have the list, but I don't know where's Joanne.
What do you need to input?
The Ohio State Patriots.
Wendy is swamped as always because she works herself to death and has asked Amy to help fill in some of the things. They're called the Ohio Sire Stakes. It's the Sire Stakes. The Buckeyes, the grassroots,
I know.
and the fairs,
Is it all
and then you have the Breeders' Championship. I would just put Ohio State payments. No, I don't know. Ask Wendy what she wants you to put.
Just to know if it
No
was
idea. Just ask her.
Is the OSS and the Buckeye the same payment, or are they two different payments?
It's two different payments, I believe. No, I know they're two different payments. Just trying to get everything inputted for everybody properly. So if you see a discrepancy in your staking this month, I don't know who you'd blame. So we're heading back now. A couple of highlights this week. I can tell you are just fresh in my mind, aside from Spitfire and Unbeatable Kemp and the horses that raced well at the track. Really impressed with some of the babies. Chicago Hall, Gaslight Hall, Princess Jean, all the ones really in Ontario I thought trained exceptionally well. What do we got in Ohio? Pops to the top of your head, eh? Who pops into your head in Ohio? Captain Incredible. We'll talk about him in a minute. We did send him to Florida. He left this morning to go to Florida for 6 weeks. I don't know if it's the right move. I don't think there's any real detriment other than the shipping. But I think having 6 weeks on a clay track will do him a lot of good. I was so impressed with him the other day. I was really on the verge of just saying, scratch that trailer ride to Florida. I think we'll just keep him here. He was that good. But I think overall we're making the right move with this guy. So I'm really impressed with him. Addie, I know you're turning that up. I can hear it. I dare you, you turkey.
Okay, I'm gonna need your
In a minute, yes. In a minute. Yes, honey. Oh, you're strong. So strong. I wish your ears were stronger, so you stopped turning that phone up. Yeah. I would say in Ohio training this week, because we had a bunch that didn't train, I was thoroughly impressed with Captain Incredible. Roser and AJ looked good again. Who'd you go with that you liked, Dave? That went good this week. Really good this week. So we didn't do a top 10 list. We gave all the babies a grade.
this week.
If you want to look
We only
this
trained once.
hour, yeah, Friday. There's an hour.
Twice.
There's
Thursday and Friday.
that Westland Warrior trained the other day too.
Jamboree was good.
Who?
Jamboree was good.
Jamboree was good. Yeah.
Alessandra was good.
Alessandra was pretty good. Yeah. I was just really happy across the board. I'm trying to think. You know, there's no horses that have really been disappointing. I know we have to. I want to message Enos about changing some shoes on Yves St. Kemp. I want to get those changed and get him moving forward. Yeah, but I was still happy with him though, and I was happy with Yves St. Kemp, although he was bumpy. Still trying to do his work. Baby Zet finally got a flat mile into her. She's moving forward now. It took a while, but we got her going. Not a lot of clarity yet on Chap. He is doing his work in trotting, jogging. But as far as training, I talked to Dr. Latessa. He watched him the other day and said the same thing. He said, I wonder if we just get a bone scan just to make sure there isn't like something with his pelvis that is bothering him, something that we can help or that we might be able to mitigate. And at the very worst, find out if there is something wrong. If there's nothing wrong, it's just a matter of taking your time, right? And I'm of that belief somewhat anyway. But we would like to turn over as many stones as we can. Such a well-bred horse. To see him struggling with his gait in trotting is a bit surprising, a bit shocking. But I'd like to know if there was something to know more about it. So a ton of emails from people messaging me about, why don't you try this, why don't you try that. We've tried most everything that you're going to see. And as far as uncovering any sort of underlying issues, we've gone the route of fluoroscoping and x-raying and ultrasounding some areas. Nothing found. No OCDs. Nothing in that regard. But the next stop might be Ohio State University and get a bone scan done. They can look way up. I'm thinking way up in his back, in his pelvis area, something like that. See if there's something that's going on there that we can help mitigate. We'll work through best we can. So ultimately, that's our job, right? But no horses have really pushed me to the point where I'm, this thing's got to go. Not yet. Anyway, everybody seems to be trying their best to do their work or getting their work done very well. So I can't complain in that regard about anything going on with the barn. Now, going on in the rest of the barn. We got our staking done. I was really happy with the way that's turned out. A lot of input from a lot of people. I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And a lot of our sophomores getting ready to go too, and they're training down good. It's really exciting in that regard. Pull the shoes, and I know what you're doing, Adeline Hope McDonald. Addie, turn it down. As far as the sophomores, we get to see Lovers play and Pull the Shoes go this week. Now we've had No Chance in Hill and Oh Snap You racing. Not as effective as I'd hoped they'd be right now. Now we did take the flip-flops off them, thinking that maybe the track was just a little deep and they couldn't get a hold of it well, and maybe that was causing some interference for both of them. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole forever with these guys. We've done what we can. We've pushed them to where they're comfortable being, and if it turns out that, as I just said, they're not going to be overall effective enough for the stable, then at that point we'll probably move them. Pull the Shoes, she qualified good, looks good, trained down good. I guess my only concern, I really wasn't able to get a real good assessment of the horses in the qualifiers because it was so muddy and the track was so bad. So we're going to have to wait till their first start to do that. You know, are they ready to go? Are they tight enough? Are they strong enough right now? I thought they were. I believed both of those fillies were ready to go. But again, we'll know more this week. You're going to see me probably drive those horses out of the gate pretty cautiously and conservatively as we head into the start of their 2024 season. We also have some racehorses coming back. Looks like Money looked great the other day qualifying, as did Yo Mister. Those horses are now ready to go. Our horses in Ohio, Electric Line, are racing good. Texan Soprano, although it faltered a bit his last two starts, kind of got pinned in with Mark and was not effective, but didn't scope good after, and Megan had some stuff to work on. I thought he raced rather well the other night, but again, hit the 7-hole at Yonkers. So everything continues to move forward. I'm much happier now than I certainly was a month ago as I was looking at the entire outlook of everything. I know at the end of my racehorse video, I gave everybody a little nugget talking about who we were working with extensively to try and polish up the business side of the stable and the inner workings of the stable, as you can imagine. And as many of you know, it's grown to such a point now where the horse side of the stable is hard enough to keep a hold of without sprinkling in all the business side. So I've relied on Wendy and a lot of people to do a job of somebody else, right? Wendy's, asked to be a bookkeeper and somewhat of an accountant, and I've leaned on Greg Brown a lot to do his work, and that's all going to change here in the next few months. We're going to have everything squared away properly the way we need it to, and one of our clients, John Evans, has helped me quite a bit in that regard, and will be playing a much more major role moving forward, which will be super, super helpful for me. So with that, I have trimmed down a 27-minute opening video to a much more condensed 13-minute video. Amy's played much less of a role, which she's busy doing stuff over here. Did you figure it all out?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to answer.
Okay. And the kids are all settled in. We'll be back in Ohio in no time and ready to go, all freshened up and ready to go starting tomorrow at the barn. A lot of horses I want to start going with this week. No real problems or concerns. I just want to get a better look, a better understanding of the mechanics of a couple of these horses. Not that they're doing anything horribly wrong. I just want to make sure they're doing it right. So that'll be my job this week. Wednesday I'm over at the Meadows, and then back at Northfield. Then Thursday. Friday we're back home next week. The kids are off Friday. The kids are off next Friday, and what you might see is a double dose of videos and droning next Friday from Ohio, next Friday morning from Ontario, because Saturday, at least at this point, they're calling for rain. So we'll see how that plays out. But for right now, all is well at the stable. Although it's a little overcast, it is a nice day here in Ontario, and it will continue to be a nice day as we head back through to Ohio. Take care. We'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Good luck this weekend.